Keep up the good work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther.
Wow. Back again. Yeah, that is pretty jamming, isn't it? That's from the link. I reached out to the guys that actually made that. The link to their they've actually got 2 songs that are like that, and they're both really good. And the link to their SoundCloud is in the description. They were nice enough to let us use that for an intro, and they did fantastic on it. So thanks, guys. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Actually, you know what? I think I did. I think I put that song SoundCloud in the first. Steve, can you check that real quick?
Yeah, I think I put that in the other one. I can put it in this one. I'll change it, man.
Yeah, that's my fault. I get scatterbrained sometimes. Okay, so we're back. We're gonna have round 2 of the FNF for this weekend, and got a pretty solid matchup for the main event per se. Welcome back, Godless Engineer. Your let me look at my list here. This is your 87th appearance.
You know, I can't appreciate it more being here 87 times. I mean, 87 times people have had to look at my fugly face on this channel, so I am honored.
But they voted you Channel of the Year, so it must be working.
Oh yeah, I think my face is growing on people. I think they're appreciating it.
Did you hear, by the way? Did you hear about the gentleman that is going to 3D print you guys actual nuns based on the graphic that was in the Golden Nuns, and we're going to send you an actual.
I did not.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. I'm going to proudly display it somewhere.
Use it as a paperweight. Use it as a paperweight. All right, and also returning. I think this is your second time, I believe, right? Southern Israelite.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the last time bludgeoning in Red's Rhetoric's face in front of all his friends, and I hope to do the same to brother engineer here tonight.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that was nothing embarrassing on Red's side of it last time. Trust me, I watched the entire thing today in preparation for this. There was not any embarrassment for Red's at all.
That's great.
Excellent.
Excellent. That makes it very easy for me tonight.
Go ahead. Let's make this as dumpster fiery as possible. Go ahead and
yeah,
get
exactly.
What
I'm here for the orgy of hate, man. That's what it's about.
Oh, we don't hate you. It's all in fun.
I don't want to.
Okay.
Don't use word orgy with Kyle and I in the same sentence. It's just.
Yeah, I'll actually take you up on that. Okay. So I believe everybody knows everybody that's in this call. So we're gonna bypass for time's sake the intros and all that. At the end, we'll let you guys know where you can catch more of them. Basically, the way this is going to run is we're going to do at the beginning we're going to do a 15-minute round of introductions for each, and then following that we'll do a 15-minute round of rebuttals. After that, we'll open it up to kind of a back and forth discussion, free flowing for them to either ask each other's questions or continue on points that the other one made. Do either of you have a preference on who goes first?
No,
I don't care. All I have is a video presentation, so I don't care.
Okay. G, do you have a preference? We'll flip a coin.
No, I don't have a preference because I got something pre-written that I'm actually going to say, live. So, yeah.
Let me get a coin real quick. I thought I had one. Steve, you got a quarter thing handy?
I could do it. Well, I could do it on my screen. Just say flip on Google and I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah. Just do it.
Yeah.
I thought I had a quarter
I'm
up here
right now. Call it.
Heads.
Flip. Don't you just type flip or toss? What do you type for Google? Coin? I know there's a little Google thing you can.
We'll let the video go first.
I have a coin. I have a coin right here. No, I got one right here. He said heads. Here we go. I'm flipping it. It is. What is that? Can you see it? Oh, it's tails. It's a nickel. Tails.
Play the video first. Just play the video.
That's a weird nickel. Where the fuck did I get that
Dave,
nickel from?
Play the video, sir.
He means he wants me to go first. So that's what he's
Dude,
saying.
That's 1803. Wow.
I only sent you guys one video. There was the YouTube video was a linked reference, and then the other video is the presentation. The Google link is the presentation.
Yeah, not the 35 one, the other one.
My name is a Southern Israelite. I'm a Protestant Bible believer and proud Judaizer, descended from an ancient English family but currently residing in Tennessee. I'm a British loyalist, a rationalist.
That's the video I gave you last time, dude. That's the video I gave you last time, like a few months ago. That's not the video I sent you.
I forwarded the one that you gave me. You wanna forward that to me again? I can show you right here. That's the one that you forwarded to me.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
I asked you if everything went through okay earlier.
It did, but I mean, I don't know which video that you sent last time. I can't. My mind barely remembers what I had for breakfast, let alone what video you used last time. I just forwarded the video that you sent me.
Well, I told you it would be 15 minutes. You should be able to tell from there. Okay, yeah, I sent you the wrong one, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, so yeah, I don't go behind you to make sure that the time and all that is accurate. I don't investigate into it that deeply. GE, I tell you what, GE, do you want to go while
yes,
he gets
for
that to
God's
me?
sakes,
And
yes.
That way we don't have to wait.
Yes, I will go. Okay. What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? So today we're yet again discussing the shape of the earth. It's amazing to me that the number of people that learn big words only to demonstrate that they have no fucking clue of how to use them properly. There are several proofs that I can give for the shape of the earth. There are obviously photos taken directly from the ISS that show the globe, or the pictures of Strawman from the Tesla car. There are pictures taken from the Discover satellite using the Epic camera. I'm sure that for my opponent, all of these pieces of evidence are just Illuminati hoaxes, or they're CGI in some way. In any case, I know that these pictures will not satisfy the flat earther crowd for one reason or another. So what can I show you that will prove the shape of the earth? I'm honestly asking here because so far the only thing I can figure out is that you guys have an unfalsifiable narrative that you cling to, much like a dingleberry clings to your ass hairs. I could tell you that ships going over the horizon and being visibly obstructed by the curvature of the earth proves that there is a curve. You will steadfastly misunderstand mirages, perspective, light, and even how vision works. I could also tell you that even if you had 8 miles in your field of vision, like across, that would only make up 0.12 degrees of the curve, so of course you wouldn't be able to visually detect it. I could explain how you would need to go up much higher, and even then it would only be barely discernible. You would need to be in low Earth orbit or just under that in order to see the kind of curve that you want to. I could explain all of this to you, and you would not accept any of it. Not because it isn't good evidence for the curvature of the Earth or the Earth being a globe, but because you have an unfalsifiable narrative. Even when you run your own experiments and prove yourselves wrong, you just make up reasons as to why the experiment failed because it didn't verify your own particular beliefs. You can never come to know the truth of reality with an unfalsifiable narrative. So let's just assume for a second the Earth is flat. What would this entail? Well, first, your first problem is gravity. Gravity is both a law and a scientific theory. It has been proven over and over again. Gravity explains how our planet became an oblate spheroid that it is today. The flat Earth idea requires gravity to not exist in order for its shape to make any kind of sense. So if gravity doesn't exist, then what keeps us on the Earth? What makes things fall down? I know you people love to say that it's density and buoyancy, but I would also love for you to explain exactly what those things are. Because I'm betting that you can't explain them. Explain the formula for the buoyant force without gravity. You can't, because gravity is an essential part of the universe and an essential part of that formula. Buoyancy and weight are an effect of gravity, and density has nothing to do with weight. Without gravity, how would you even explain buoyancy? I would love for you to explain the basic laws of motion to me and then apply them without invoking gravity. You can't do it. Next problem you have is the Coriolis effect and the measurable spin on the Earth. This effect has several ramifications. For one thing, the jet streams wouldn't be a thing if the Earth didn't spin. Hurricanes, cyclones, and typhoons wouldn't occur without the spin of the Earth. Bob from Globebusters actually proved the spin of the Earth using a $20,000 ring laser gyroscope. He detected the 15-degree per hour rotation of the planet, which then he said actually detected the heavenly energies. He said that this detecting a 15-degree spin per hour would actually prove that the Earth was spinning. But as we know, that's not what it proved to him. It just proved to him that for some reason, gyroscopes on the Earth detect the movement of the sky. So how would you react to this, Southern Israelite? Do you just shrug that off and explain your way around it? If you do, then you're going to be just as disingenuous as Bob is. Now, another problem is the tides. How do those even fucking work? We know scientifically that the moon and sun's gravity affect Earth's gravity in a way that it produces sort of a squeezing effect on the top and the bottom of the Earth, causing the high and low tides twice a day. Part of that particular model is that some places will only experience one tide a day due to the moon's orbit, the geography of the planet, and what time of the month it is. How do you explain this on the flat Earth model? I don't think that you can without making shit up on the spot. There are so many visible bits of evidence that the Earth is a globe that it is amazing that we even have to have this conversation in 2018. I was going to bring up eclipses and how that would work on the flat Earth, but you would just pull mysterious black planetary bodies out of your ass like a few that got stuck up there, while you cite some ignorant people from the 7th century as your proof. That's not science. All you have is word salad, and honestly, I prefer a 12-ounce New York strip. So I guess I would say that the consensus that the Earth is a globe is indeed what is truly the situation about the shape of our planet. You can't explain your flat Earth model at all without pulling shit out of your ass, like black planetary bodies that appear out of freaking nowhere to make the sun and moon disappear during eclipses, or however you explain the tides. I still don't know that, and I would really love to hear it. So please, I've asked you a few questions in this intro thing here, so if you will answer those for me at some point, and I know I would be grateful. And I guess I'll yield the rest of my time to Southern Israelite.
Okay. All right. You're right at 9 minutes there. All right. I guess we'll roll with the video unless you want to say something first, Southern Israelite.
Video's not quite here. You might as well go.
No, all I wanted to ask from Steve and company, since I asked from the chat last debate. So it's on you. You guys made the claim, prove it. And that's what I want somebody to address tonight.
The Fermat's principle,
admitted
correct me if I'm wrong, only deals with a boundary differential, right? You have light coming into a boundary condition, then it will refract from the boundary layer, right?
I'm waiting for you to address what I said, Steve.
Southern Israelite, you
Well, I'm asking you if that's the correct,
that's the
correct.
Show
You're saying that we should
source.
correct ourselves, but
Show
I'm
me
asking
your
you if
academic
that's
source.
Okay,
That says
all right, let's get this.
Fermat's
Hold on,
principle.
everybody. Let's me and Steve will address that at the end of this. Right now you're here to talk to Godless Engineer. We will address that. We'll do that, but it's not
Well,
going to
that issue is going to come up.
taking away from. That's fine. That's fine. It can come up. But number one, we're not on demand. I don't owe you answers on demand, and I'm not going to give you answers on demand. We're going to do this.
All I want is an admission he was wrong.
With these intros.
Who was wrong?
Well, number one, I very rarely admit that I'm ever wrong. Even when I'm wrong, I will rarely admit that I'm wrong. So it's going to be a tough time coming out of me.
We're lucky he admits he had a bad hair day. Okay, that's the most you're going to get.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so Dave, what's our ETA on the download of that video? So we'll want to have a gauge what time we're looking at here.
I honestly don't know why it's taken so long. I'm sitting here at 500 megabytes right about now. It's an 800 megabyte video. Why is the video so big? That's my question.
Well,
I
mean, it's 15 minutes long. But also, the stream is suffering extreme lag and it's buffering a lot. So it's probably because of the video download.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
That could definitely.
I can start addressing some of the points that Godless made. If you want me to just go ahead and do that,
Sure.
Will that preclude my presentation?
I'm kind of curious. Why can't you do just your talking points live? Like, why is that not a thing? I mean,
because
I'm assuming that you wrote a script for it and you talked for 15 minutes. I mean, is there no way you could just open Word up and get that script back?
Because I want to show the documents. I don't want to just make claims. Last time I didn't understand how the format here worked, and I gave the producer a number of files that never got linked in the description, never got showed. So, I wanted to put everything on the screen so everybody could see I'm not just pulling the stuff out of my ass. I'm citing academic documents to prove my claim.
Is there 5 minutes of dead air in your video where you're just showing random documents on the screen? I'm just curious.
I really appreciate you guys saying people should ignore me because I cite my claims too much and saying I study too much. And please keep making those arguments because my support just keeps going up the more you guys make those arguments.
No, that is nothing that I just said. I mean, you did not answer anything that I just said.
Let's get some of the points while this video is it should be done here momentarily, but go ahead and address some of the points that he brought up, and then I'll let you know when the video is ready to go, and it won't cut into your time on that.
Godless. All right, fine. Godless said, what would it convince me that the Earth is a globe? And I've said numerous times, my position is not unfalsifiable. All you got to do is do a north-south circumnavigation along a continuous longitude. I already had this conversation on here last time in the last debate, so you obviously didn't watch the debate. I did.
I did hear you actually say that, but I mean, that's
so why would you even bring
pushing the proof into. Fine, go ahead.
Yeah, we're getting some lag here. So the second thing he said, I don't know how vision works. Again, I already addressed this last time. I don't have to develop a complete textbook on physics and optics. I do not believe the Earth was a development of physical laws. You guys believe the Earth was a development of physical laws. The burden of explaining everything, every physical phenomenon is on you. It's not on me. I believe in creation. I believe in special divine creation. Secondly, I already addressed the issue of vision last time. Nobody knows how to define sensation, how it produces perception and abstract ideas. I had cited that from a basic psychology textbook taught in modern colleges last time I was here. You guys don't know what sensation and perception are, and you sure as hell don't know how it relates to the functioning of the human brain. It's already admitted. And so asking me to explain vision is just complete Dunning-Kruger on your part. Again, I already brought up that issue last time. So why you would even bring it up, it shows me you didn't listen to what I said, just like Red's rhetoric did. Cannot see curve. You said, okay, the burden of proof thing. Okay, so you're saying that from our human experiences on Earth, then we can't detect the curvature of the Earth, and this is expecting too much out of science. Well, then you're admitting then that on our own experience, you have the burden of proof in the debate then. And that's my first argument in my video, is you have the burden of proof, because I'm going to cite you multiple experts on this issue of visual perception. and ecology and how it relates to the horizon, from Carlo Rovelli, from Neil deGrasse Tyson, from the documents I showed last time. Nobody can see this curvature. Neil deGrasse Tyson says you can't see it all the way up to 128,000 feet. So if that's the case, you have the burden of proof, not me. The next one, unfalsifiability. I have showed how my position is falsifiable. All you have to do is a north-south circumnavigation along a continuous longitude. Not hard to do. All you would have to, as I showed last time, that flight from Perth to Buenos Aires is a perfectly straight along a perfect continuous longitude that you could do the north-south circumnavigation over. It's no problem whatsoever. The reason why it doesn't exist is this flight doesn't exist is because the Earth's not a globe, dude. And I was shown, like, the last couple of years, a bunch of you guys, I don't know if you made this argument, Godless, but people keep saying, oh, you know, they're developing a flight from Perth to Buenos Aires. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, Drake? Just a few months ago, the Chamber of Commerce down there came out with the document on the flight. Guess what? They're not going to fly through the pole. I showed that on my video on the Southern Hemisphere I made like a month ago. They're not going to fly through the pole. And I knew they weren't going to. So are you guys going to admit you're wrong about that? He says something about me failing experiments. Please show me what experiment I did that I failed at. Like, just because Bob cites me on Globebusters doesn't make me responsible for everything that Bob and Jaron do. Sorry. So please provide an example of what experiment I did that I failed at. And if you were just like bringing that up to like associate with me with Bob and Jaron, that's just ridiculous. What makes things fall down to the earth? Density and the continuum in which all the behavior of an object is dependent on its density and the continuum in which it is dwelling in. I do not believe in space. The whole concept has been refuted really since the pre-Socratic era with Zeno of Elea. And I was on a hangout with Red's Rhetoric like a month and a half ago or so, like 2 months ago, where he brought up this video on Zeno's paradox, and he stopped it right before they admitted in the video that he had no explanation of how a subject could move through an infinite number of points. And he admitted it. He admitted there's no answer for it. It's never been answered. It never will be answered. It's an infinite number of points in a finite segment. There's no way to answer it. It's admitted there's no way to answer it. And he admitted it in the video. And Red stopped the video in the hangout right before he said that. It was absolutely disgusting. Motion. Again, Zeno's paradox really has, blown my brain on any kind of space or motion theory. And again, I don't have the burden of proof to write a physics textbook. You do. I do not believe that the earth was a development of physical laws. I believe the earth was created by God. You believe it was a development of physical laws. You have the burden of proof of writing the whole physics textbook. Coriolis. The issue of Coriolis is based on the concept of frames of reference. And frames of reference are based on dialectical opposition. They're based on an ancient Neoplatonic and pagan idea of subjective idealism. And basically the idea of behind all Coriolis, basically the whole, any kind of Newtonian or quantum mechanics, this is what it's based on, is the idea that space is infinite. And if space is infinite, then every position in quote unquote space, there really is no positions, because if everything extends infinitely in every direction, then there's no way to tell one spatial location from another one. And so the only way that you can define different positions is through dialectics. And once you do that, you've been wrapped up in a circular reasoning fallacy. Mary Louise Gill laid this all out in her book, Unity, Identity, and Explanation in Aristotle's Metaphysics. And she points out, how do you tell one spatial location from another? They'll say, well, by the body contained in that space. Then how do you tell the difference between the bodies contained in that, or how do you tell the difference between one body and another? By their different spatial locations. How do you tell the difference between different spatial locations? By the body contained in the space. It's complete circular reasoning fallacy. I made a whole video on frames of reference a long time ago. This is all philosophy. This whole model is based on metaphysics and philosophy. It's stuff I studied for years when I was a Christian, when I was in seminary, and it's really easy. Once you understand Neoplatonism, the entire world we live in just opens up for you. The whole deception. Neoplatonism is the most influential metaphysical school in the history of the world. It controls, I maintain, every religion and every school of science, at least from the 3rd or 4th century all the way up until today. Once you understand Neoplatonism, the whole world locks out. Okay, go ahead.
All right, Dave, you got a screen capture on me?
I don't know how you're going to hear this, but
Well, let me test it real quick. See if you can you hear that?
I can hear it, but can they hear you or double? Because I'm hearing you
Can
twice.
you guys Yeah, but can you guys hear it out there?
I cannot hear whatever he's saying in the video.
Okay. What if I played on over my speakers then? So, Dave, it's not downloading for you at all?
It's downloading. It's going slow, and it already downloaded once, and then it quit. Like, literally, it just said it failed.
It downloaded for me in like 15 seconds. I don't understand that.
There might be something up with my internet tonight.
Is the stream still lagging? Maybe we need to just close out, start over again, start a new stream over. again.
The stream's fine now. I mean, I've got the stream fine at least.
All right, just bear with us just a second, everybody. How long does your video have left to download on that, Dave? What's the percentage at right now?
It's 800 megs. It's not giving me a percentage. It's 809 megabytes. It's about 100 left. So about
so
a minute left.
It won't be long. Okay, GE, do you have anything that you want to respond to with what he said over the past several minutes?
Oh God, I have a
that
list.
maybe cover...
I don't know if you can see this, but it is almost a full fucking page long. Okay, so
let's do a couple of those.
First off, you said that your narrative isn't falsifiable or is falsifiable because you'll accept a pole-to-pole flight. I mean, I guess you're disregarding it's Pan Am Flight 50 that's actually done the pole-to-pole thing like, I don't know, 3 times. So, I mean, it's possible for you to do that if that's the kind of evidence that you need. But also, I feel like you're pushing the required evidence into an area that you can't get. It's a lot like the God of the Gaps argument. You're just moving the goalposts into an area that you know can't be satisfied, and so you can stay steadfast in being right. That's a bit disingenuous of an argument there, I'd have to say. So, I mean, I don't know when that next flight is. The latest article that I found on it was from this year, so I don't know. It's possible that you could do that, but whatever. I have to be honest, most of your bitching and rambling that you had, I didn't understand. You completely misunderstood what I was saying in my opening. Like, for instance, you think that I was saying that you can't explain vision. What I actually said was that you will steadfastly hold to misunderstanding these things. Not that you had to explain them or anything, but that you will steadfastly hold to your misunderstanding of it. There's a very big difference there, guy. So I didn't expect you to explain, vision or anything. The whole sensation and perception and all that kind of shit that you're attributing to God and creation and all of that. I'm sorry, but the whole God and creation argument. Hold on, would you play? I stayed silent the entire time you were rambling on about whatever you were talking, and so just let me go through until these guys get set up with your 15-minute diatribe about how you hate the globe and shit.
We're almost there.
You say that I was like expecting too much out of science because of, I guess, perceiving the globe. I don't know. You rambled on a good bit, so I'm a little fuzzy on that particular part, but I can assure you I'm not expecting too much out of science, or I didn't say that you were expecting too much out of science or something like that. What I said was that there are multiple bits of evidence that you can visually see, and I gave you multiple examples of that to where you can see them. I am at the point where I don't even know the point you were trying to make with that particular part. You still have an unfalsifiable model, because anything that I come up with, you're just going to toss in the trash and you're going to be like, nope, that's wrong because it doesn't confirm what I believe. And there's no way that you can come to the actual truth of reality through that. You seem to think that I said you failed experiments or experiments you ran failed. And I was talking to the general flat earther community. Like, when you guys run experiments, even when they fail, you hold steadfast to your previous position. And then I gave an example of somebody in the flat earth community doing exactly that. And then you went on a physics rant, and all I really have written down is that I could write a physics book. I'm a software engineer, bro. I don't know like what kind of conception you had of me going into this, but I'm a software engineer. I would not write a physics book. And it's not on me to have burden of proof. I can prove that that there is a curve and the Earth does spin and that the Earth is a globe. I can prove these things. That means that I am the one that needs to prove it. Okay, you're the one that needs to prove that the Earth is actually flat, and all you have are assertions that you pull directly out of your ass. That's all that you have. And then you throw a whole bunch of word salad at it like you're some kind of discount Jordan Peterson in order to confuse people and make yourself sound smart, I guess. And then you started going on about frames of reference and how apparently that's some kind of fucking pagan religion or something, or it comes from pagan religions, or it comes from something that you don't like and therefore is wrong. Frames of reference are just a basic thing in like physics. I mean, in order to understand any kind of physics about motion, relative motion, or anything like that, you need frames of reference. I don't know where you're getting that it's some kind of pagan thing or some kind of occultist thing, or I can't even remember the word you used to describe frame of reference because I found myself just sitting there like, what in the fuck is this guy talking about? And so I don't know. I mean, that's what I've got as far as what you're saying. So, oh, okay, good for you.
You've never heard the concept of dialectical opposition.
Are not. What? See, it helps if you wait until I actually stop talking for you to continue talking. But you see, you don't know how to have a conversation because you're just talking over me right now. You're not waiting for me to talk. I will shut up talking as soon as you shut up interrupting me.
You stopped for like 5 seconds, so I thought.
Go ahead, Southern.
I'm up now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he just basically just did an appeal to the stone on every single thing I said. As far as the are you having to Google search what appeal to the stone means, Steve? Okay. Pan Am Flight 50 is not a single longitude, and I showed that. I have a whole video on the Southern Hemisphere. I go through all the pole-to-pole flights. Pan Am Flight 50, the Polar Bird 1 flight, Transpolar 08 flight, which is a complete joke. That's not even remotely even close to being through the pole. Polecat 1965, the ZQ Pilot flight. I mean, none of them are along even close to a continuous longitude. And, you know, I know we have problems with the Southern Hemisphere. You have problems with the Southern Hemisphere. You have to admit there's some things about the Southern Hemisphere we don't understand. So no, I don't consider your Pan Am Flight 50 to be a proof. It's not even close to a continuous longitude. Do you know what appeal to the stone means, Godless Engineer? You know what that means?
No, and I do not feel like it's relevant to this conversation.
Yeah,
like,
you're just
I get
wrong
that you can
I'm
name
wrong,
a whole
that's what
bunch
you
of
want.
fancy. No, that's not even what I said. But you know, continue mishearing me or misunderstanding or anything like that. I mean, just go ahead and keep doing that because I mean, obviously, you're not going to do anything different.
Okay, can I continue with some of the arguments he made to him, and he just dismissed it? You know, I answer what I said.
No, that is nothing that I said. No, I said that most of your thing, well, like you went on a pretty long rant and I couldn't remember a lot of it, but I hit a number of points that I could sort of remember. And that was not one of the the pole flights. It's always going to be something that's not exactly correct. Fairly certain that if you were put on a plane going from pole to pole, you would accuse somebody of knocking you the fuck out and just showing you when Antarctic was over the plane. I mean, it's always going to be some kind of excuse as to why whatever you experience or whatever you're shown is not proof of the globe. So you have an unfalsifiable model, even when you say that it's falsifiable.
Okay, we're I think the video is finally done, so the lagging should stop here in just a second. If you're watching this later, the first chunk where it's lagging really bad, I'm going to cut out so that you don't have to wait through the lagging. So we'll get GE's opening points and what salvageable pieces are not just chopped to death in the final video. I'll leave those in there too, but I'll cut out the rest so that it can jump straight to where we are now.
Well, yes, I mean, Kyle, do you guys not like record to the hard drive as you're streaming too?
Well, it won't be buffering on the lot when it renders. That buffering will all go away. It goes in the intake and it'll all be fine once it uploads. You won't see any of that buffer. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, even better. All right. So the video is finally finished. Let us know if there's still any lag. We couldn't do anything about that at the time though, because it was just a bandwidth thing. So Dave, go ahead and roll it whenever you're set.
So I'll just get into it. The proposition for the debate tonight again is globe earth or flat earth, which model best comports with reality. However, again, which reality are we talking about? The one we see with our eyes and experience with our senses, or is it the reality seen through the theoretical optics of telescopes and cameras, and the one postulated in optical geometric artwork whose axioms bear no analogy to physical reality, and whose units and substratum, as presented during the scientific revolution up till today, are baseless and contradictory to basic physics? This brings me to my first argument for the flat earth. Again, as was avoided in the last debate and will be avoided in this debate, our unmanipulated experience tells us the earth is flat and stationary, and my opponent's position is an onus probandi, or shifting the burden of proof fallacy. However, our opponents have devised numerous optical and metaphysical theories to circumvent what we all experience. Galileo, when confronted with the well-known fact that Mars and Venus appear geocentric when observed with the naked eye, tells us the human eye produces a hindrance of its own, infusing the object with, quote, alien rays, which expand their size. The telescope is needed to remove the illusion, even though Venus and Mars can be seen with the unaided eye. When confronted with Tycho Brahe's naked eye observation of no annual parallax, Galileo postulated that Brahe's observation was an illusion brought about by the immense distance of the stars as he induced from his telescope observation of the Milky Way. When faced with the geocentric demonstration of the Tower experiment, Galileo tells us to, quote, put aside the appearance, unquote, which he and his opponents all saw. Standard academic sources admit curvature cannot be detected below 35,000 feet, and that, quote, photographs purporting to show the curvature of the Earth are always suspect because virtually all camera lenses project an image that suffers from barrel distortion. Neil deGrasse Tyson admits that even from 128,000 feet, the height of the Baumgartner jump, the Earth should appear flat. Paolo Rovelli tells us that when our senses perceive the Earth is flat, this is actually an illusion. One of the foremost authorities in visual perception, Dr. James J. Gibson, tells us that at the scale of the human observer, the Earth is flat all the way out to the horizon, and on that scale, the Earth is not Copernican. Thus, our opponents' demand that we prove the Earth is flat, when examined carefully, is actually a cleverly crafted onus probandi fallacy, demanding that we disprove that our unmanipulated experienced reality is the illusion they have invented with baseless theories and metaphysics. 2. Not simply the baseless theory, but the experimentally proven impossibility of gravity proves the Earth is flat. Any three-dimensional object, whether it was a spheroid or a pyramid, etc., would require gravity in order to attract or hold subjects held to its surface at a 90-degree angle. Thus, if gravity is disproved, this necessitates, without any possible alternate hypothesis, that the Earth is flat. The following is a modus tollens argument. If there is curvature to the Earth, There must be gravity. There is no gravity, therefore there's no curvature to the earth. The syllogism is valid in its form. All that lacks is verification of its premises. To the first premise, Sir Isaac Newton tells us on pages 528 to 529 of his Principia that from the attractions of gravity, quote, the bodies of the earth and all the planets affect a spherical figure. To the second premise, I have written a lengthy treatise covering over 75 arguments now against gravity, but I will offer only a few here. Number one, falling bodies do not fall at the same rate regardless of weight, and the deviation of falling bodies contradicts Newton's prediction. Giovanni Riccioli performed detailed experiments proving that heavy bodies fall faster than light bodies. This is actually admitted by the secular establishment. What has been postulated is that he needed to do these experiments in a vacuum. Number one, from my experience, this demonstration is never done in an alleged vacuum when countless children are lied to on a daily basis in the public school system. Number two, there is no such thing as a vacuum. The concept is metaphysical and theological, as Newton states in the Principia, and scientifically impossible, which Sir Isaac Newton admitted as well. I must agree with Aristotle that light and basic forces of physics are impossible in a vacuum, and he has been proven correct. If vacuums actually existed, we would not be able to see anything in them. They would be completely dark. The only theory of light that works with a vacuum is the corpuscular theory, and that theory was refuted in the 19th century by Leon Foucault. Secondly, Sir Isaac Newton predicted, given his theory of gravity and his laws of motion, that falling bodies would deviate to the east of the perpendicular. On the contrary, the experiments of Hooke, Benzenberg, Reich, and Rundell all showed a consistent southward deviation. Link 1. Number 2. There are missing tides in the Mediterranean Sea and many places all around the world where high tide comes in 10 to 12 hours after the moon passes the meridian. There are negligible tides in the Mediterranean Sea as compared to the Red Sea. Heliocentrists will account for this lack of tides due to the restriction caused by the Strait of Gibraltar, constricting the exchange of water between the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. The problem is, the same could be said of the Red Sea and the Bab el-Mandeb, but the Red Sea has tides. High tide does not come in until 10 to 12 hours after the moon passes the meridian. In Holyhead, Pentland, Firth, Dublin, North Foreland, Needles, Fiji, and Ascension Island get low tide when the moon is at the meridian. The same problems can be found in Tahiti. Number 3. The basic physics of thermal expansion requires the sun to emit an eccentric and expansive force, not an attractive force. The metaphysical excuse the heliocentrists appeal to is the prehistoric metaphysical notion of atoms. I have pointed out that the classic proof for atomism, Brownian motion, assumes that Democritus and Zeno attributed ubiquity to atoms, and from my own research, the claim is baseless. Number 3, upon ascension from the earth, the horizon rises to the eye. As the great 19th century balloonist James Glacier admitted, quote, the earth being a spherical globe, it might be thought that on rising high above the surface we should see something of this spherical shape. But the contrary is experienced in reality. As we mount higher, the surface of the earth, instead of this, actually flattens out, unquote. As Taboo Conspiracy pointed out, when the horizon in the Felix Baumgartner footage is compared between the horizon while on the ground to the horizon at 128,000 feet, we see 100% confirmation of flat Earth. I pulled up the Walter Bislin's curvature application and made a comparison between eye level on the ground to 128,000 feet, screen captured it, lowered the opacity, and laid it over the Baumgartner scene, and as we see, the horizon should have dropped dramatically lower than the horizon in the footage if we were living on a ball. Appeals to a gimbal are an argument from ignorance, and the theodolite excuse was also addressed long ago. At vast distances and vast differences in elevation, the theodolite is unreliable due to the collimation error. Number 4, Percy Brigman, Nobel Prize winner in physics and professor of mathematics and physics at Harvard University from 1919 to 1954, in his work The Logic of Modern Physics, refutes the heliocentric interpretation of stellar aberration, stellar parallax, and states concerning the distances of the stars on page 17, quote, astronomy is usually regarded as a science of extraordinarily high accuracy, but its accuracy is very restricted in character, namely to the measurement of angles. It is probably safe to say that no astronomical distance, except perhaps that of the moon, is known with an accuracy greater than 0.1%. The arguments he gives for this position are the following. Number one, the parameters of length are physical operations when constructing a measuring stick, which he calls tactual space, but the length to a celestial body is based on theoretical notions of the nature and motion of light that have all up to this day been refuted, which he calls optical space. On page 164, Brigman states that stellar aberration is refuted by the fact that it assumes light is a material thing that travels. Number two, the positions of optical space are arbitrary, seeing space is infinite and can only be defined dialectically. Thus, optical space is baseless, seeing the space needed to be measured and defined through Euclidean geometry is empty. Thus, Brigman states on page 17 and 18 of his work, quote, thus at greater and
All right. Well, what are you trying to say? Is there anything in that video that you couldn't? I mean, why did we go through all of that bullshit to get it downloaded when you could have summed up your points on live? I don't understand what you're trying to say there.
That Brigman quote was killing you, wasn't it? You had to take that down.
Yeah.
You know exactly why I wanted it played, because I wanted my arguments to be put out and I wanted the documents so everybody could see them. I wasn't just making stuff up. And you know that, man. And you're all just butthurt, so you had to take the video down.
They were images with you narrating. There was no documents in that video. What documents? What documents?
Please keep saying this stuff, man. My subscribers just keep going up. My support keeps going up, man. Please keep doing this stuff,
yeah, because
man.
people love watching a train wreck. But please answer me: in what documents did you have in that video?
Well, hang on. You're laughing. Can you give us the name? Can you give us the name of a document? We're asking you for.
No, we're gonna
the name of the document.
What are we playing? What game are we playing here, fellas?
So you don't have any document.
GE, go ahead, please. He's not.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'd like to call bullshit. Hold on, I'd like to call bullshit on your whole. Oh, keep saying these things because my subscribers keep going up. Last Tuesday, you lost 8 subscribers, bro. And then the next day, you only gained 1. Then Thursday, you gained -2 subscribers. And then yesterday, you gained 6. And right now, you're down 1. So I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
First of all, my YouTube channel was shadow banned a couple years ago when I made a video about Donald Trump and how I predicted his election 9 months before it, and how his entire election was wholly intended to cite a civil war here, and that's exactly what it was intended to do, and I was right on the money. And I have the document. I don't know if I can find it now, but it shows that they algoed me like over 2 years ago. So over the Trump election. And number two, not all of my support goes through YouTube, buddy. Sorry.
Wait, all your support goes through. What does that even mean?
I said not all of my support is related to YouTube.
Oh, okay. So is it your 45 Twitter followers? That
I don't remember. I don't remember Godless Engineer's presentation being interrupted like that, man. I mean, that's just
because
how many times
that's just butthurt, fellas. That is just pure butthurt.
15 minutes long.
You say documents.
What documents? I told you. You told me last night, Kyle. You said these are the parameters you wanted, or you told me, just give me the parameters you want for the debate, and I laid them out.
Right. You laid it out, but see, the thing is, you kept saying, I want to show this video. This video has to be shown because there's my proof. There's my documents. I'm asking you a direct question. What documents were in that video? They were images. I think you're confusing images with documents. They're not the same thing. What documents were in that video?
And do you have any? Because I have a piece of news.
Hold on. I want to answer. What documents were in that video?
There were no documents. It was all an illusion, Kyle. I mean, everything you were saying, it was just an illusion, man.
Okay, you keep saying that, but you're not refuting what I'm saying. Normally, this is where you go. Okay,
it's ridiculous.
Here are my
documents. You saw document after document. You just got
name one of them.
Hold on. I saw image after image.
Interrupt my presentation.
Image after image. I saw pictures from Google after pictures from Google. I didn't see no image.
Okay.
Documents.
Okay. Listen. Okay. Nobody interrupted your presentation. You decided to submit a 15-minute long video That was your initial
What was
presentation.
agreed
So
to for the
nobody
debate.
interrupted.
Yeah, you did, and you knew it. Man, the butt hurt.
What?
is
No, I
off
didn't.
the
I didn't
Richter
say
scale.
anything.
I think you
Did
might-
I say
I think you might be
anything during his
interested.
video?
No, I think you might be
No.
interested in this.
He just
are-
turned
by
off
the-
my video, dude.
Hang on.
He turned it off. It wasn't
Yes,
even
I
close to
did.
being finished.
Yeah, this is
Right,
well.
that's
You
the
know,
problem.
this is a discussion. Not your video had no. You have no documentation. You admit you have no documentation. Your video had
Yeah,
nothing in it
I admit
besides
it,
just
Steve.
bloviating.
I didn't show any
Well, you just
documents,
did.
man.
The question is simple. Question
Yeah,
is simple. Do you have evidence?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
was
have
being
documents you can give
sarcastic.
to us? No, simple question. Do you have documents you can give to us, or the name of the documents? Yes or no?
You saw all of them all on screen, Steve. This is
Do you
pathetic.
have
Well,
them?
no,
Yes
okay,
or no?
so he commonly
It's not complicated.
cites Newton's, what is it, Principia or something like that. And then there was a
Please,
Galileo
please keep
thing.
making that argument, man. Please.
Well, let me get this out.
I'm
This is
trying to
important, so
help
that
you
I
out
want you to
right
be aware
now.
of this.
That's what I'm trying to
You
do.
are
I don't.
famous. Wait, hang on. You are famous. You are leading the charge. I'm going to give you a props for this. You are actually the number one right now by 25 votes for Dumb Fuck of the Year. So
Awesome.
congratulations.
Thank you. I relish the hatred of my enemies. Truly.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
or
saying
you
I'm a
hoping
dumb
to
fuck
get more than
doesn't
negative
answer any
6
of my
subscribers
arguments.
tomorrow?
Dude, losing
You're not
subscribers
making any
also
argument.
doesn't refute any of my argument.
You're not making
No,
any
it
arguments.
doesn't. It doesn't, but it does refute your whole idea that like your sub count keeps going up because we're supposedly misrepresenting you on the Non-Sequitur Show. That's not even
Yeah.
what's happening, even on your own little stats there. So let's go back to your video, what we saw of it. And to be quite honest, I fell asleep, so I'm kind of glad that we kind of stopped that right there. So
What
first
did
of
you
all,
take for the
you
butthurt?
start out. Hold on. You start out saying that there are two different realities that we perceive. Is that correct?
There's theories of reality. There's the optical theory you hold to since the time of Galileo, and then there's the natural I hold to. I believe senses are given to us to function in this. I have a dime that God gave me my senses so I can function in this world. Why should I think I can't trust them?
Okay, how do you feel about illusions then?
How do I feel about? Well, I'm not an empiricist. I'm just saying that if I can generally trust my senses, and by the testimony of two witnesses, every word is established. My epistemology is
Okay.
I'm a coherency theorist. I start with revelation. I'm not an empiricist. I don't claim to be an empiricist. I don't believe in that zetetic philosophy thing.
Okay, can we please forego the Bible talk here? Like seriously,
You brought
that's
up the
not
issue
going to
of
help your
epistemology, so I
position.
brought it up.
When did I bring up epistemology? When did I say epistemology?
You were making a contradiction to sensation, so to attack the epistemology of empiricism, which is correct. You're right. There are illusions, there are dreams, and I don't claim that all knowledge can be demonstrated from sensation.
Did I say anything like that? Please, did I insinuate any
But
of that?
it's apparent
Okay.
that words don't mean the same to in his vocabulary.
Okay. So, throughout your entire thing, you seem to appeal to authority a lot, and more specifically, appealing to tradition. And apparently,
waiting for you
you
to say
think
that.
people were more correct back in like Newton's days or whatnot. I mean, you understand that like a lot of the scientific theories and ideas have gone through multiple like testing, analysis, and refactoring in order to come to where we even are today. So
Yeah,
the
and I
things that
guarantee you,
Newton
I know
didn't know back
more about
then,
that.
he couldn't have postulated.
Guaranteed I know more about that than you do. Define mass.
Well, mass would be the amount of atoms that are within an object.
That's exactly what I thought you were going to say. That's Newton's definition. That gets later developed into what's called it's called a measurement of inertia. If you read Max Born's work on Einstein's theory of relativity, mass gets developed into a measurement of inertia. I know more about your own tradition than you do, and that's why you guys got to keep cutting me off because I just keep
Wait a second.
Every word you say, I refute.
He can't get onto you. He can't get onto you about not knowing the definition of mass when he doesn't know the definition of document.
And by the way, I would have just made it simpler. To me, mass is just condensed energy. Anything that takes up a unit measurement of space has mass.
Right,
It doesn't
but
necessarily have
that's
to be
related to
subatomic
inertia.
or
That's a
atomic.
different definition than Newton's definition of mass.
Well, but
What
it's
does
not.
this have
But
to do
yeah,
with
but
the shape of the
why
Earth?
does it? Why is mine less useful than yours? I mean, seriously.
Okay, hold on. So Southern Israelite, what do you think that makes up mass? Like, what do you think mass is?
Again, dude, I don't think that you can develop a full logical physical theory. I think it's a lot of the stuff's only functional. But I don't have the burden of proof to write a physics textbook. I believe in divine creation.
No.
You believe the Earth was a development of physical law.
Hold on, I'm stopping you. I'm stopping you right here. I'm stopping you right here because I asked you specifically, what if atoms do not exist, like you said in your video, which is like one of the last things I have written down because we were just waiting to get there. What do you think the mass of an object is exactly? What do you think that everything is made up in reality? Could you just please enlighten me as to what your thoughts are on this? I get that you think that I have the burden of proof, but I can assure you I don't. Right now, you're saying that all of accepted science is wrong and you are right. So please tell me, what is mass?
And that's not appeal to the stone. You keep throwing a fallacy out there.
Definition of mass.
Don't use a fallacy if you get it wrong.
Here we go.
Well, hang on. I'm the one that does fallacies here. You throw out a fallacy. That fallacy is not correctly used right now. That's not what he's doing. And by the way, your burden shifting you are doing that. The onus is not upon GE to demonstrate the physics because the physics has already been demonstrated by actual physicists. That's why it's called a scientific consensus. At that point, the burden shifts to the person wishing to falsify it. Do you understand that?
Answer my argument against Brownian motion. Answer my argument against Brownian motion, Steve.
First of all, don't. Hey, what I said. Don't tell me what to do, please. It's not going to work in your favor. I guarantee. Listen to me carefully. When a scientific theory has been confirmed, okay, the onus in science now shifts to the person trying to falsify it because the burden of evidence, the justification for holding those positions has already been met. Okay, so the burden has already been done. The work has been done. Nobody here has to show you that. We don't have the onus for that. You have the onus to demonstrate that it's wrong. That is how it works. Period.
And now
I was waiting for you to make
that. Has nothing to do with Brownian motion.
I can refute that right from the Art of Reasoning by David Kelly. He utterly refutes that definition of the burden.
We're not here he's not here right now. He's not here. Why don't you?
Fine. I'm
citing documents. And you guys just say they're not documents. You know, it's
You're
hilarious.
not citing oh my God. What is mass?
I don't think you understand what a document means. I really don't. That's clearly not citing a document.
Let him answer the question about mass.
The definition of mass, as in Piercy Brigman's book, The Logic of Modern Physics, which is simply a functional definition, it's just a discrete object you use in an operation. There is you don't get into metaphysics at all. There's no metaphysics. So he mentions in the book Logic of Modern Physics, he says in the Logic of Modern Physics, he says, you know, we can't call the sky a mass. Like it's just meaningless in operation. It's completely outside of the purview of operation. So we just define mass as just a discrete object in an experiment or operation. That's all
Okay. I get. I guess I don't understand your fucking view of reality then. But then explain how you can calculate the force of something. Like when I slam my fist down on this desk, how do you calculate the force of that?
How do I calculate it? Well, I mean,
yes. How would you calculate?
Dude, I'd have to think about that, man.
Are you kidding me? Force equals mass times acceleration.
It's one of the basic laws.
If my hand is 1 pound or one, however you want to measure mass, if it's 1 mass unit and I'm traveling at an acceleration of 1 meters per second, if you want, the force is going to be 1 newtons or whatever. I mean, that's what that is.
So you didn't read enough after Newton, dude. That gets, since acceleration is supposed to be equal in a vacuum.
What he said wrong? I'm curious. I'm really curious.
What did
he just say? Are you serious?
He didn't get that
serious. What did he just say that's not wrong?
Acceleration gets eliminated later in Einstein, where force, like mass and energy, become conflated. Acceleration is the same supposedly in a vacuum. Are you serious? You're really gonna like? You're going to question.
Yeah, I'm really serious. Yeah, please quote me. I don't mind that because you're talking bollocks right now. Utter bollocks.
I'm not a physicist. I don't do experiments
Clearly.
and stuff every day. I
Shocker.
haven't like worked out every experiment on how to like measure how your fist smashes against a table.
So you don't know basic.
I do not have a burden
physics.
of proof, and the reason why I don't do that, I do not have the burden of proof to write a physics textbook. I believe in divine
You
creation.
just saying that though
you guys
doesn't make it
believe
so.
that the
You're just
world
saying
isn't
that.
defined by physical law.
Divine creation.
You have the-
I'm right.
Shit. Oh, it's on you. No, it's not. Just so you saying that doesn't mean it.
I have God
Look,
behind me. I'm right. Fuck off. That's
What?
Yeah.
That's not what I said. I didn't say because I believe in divine creation, the earth is flat. All I said was because of my position, I don't have a burden of proof to explain all the physical forces. I don't, because I don't believe that. I don't believe that reality is. I don't believe the world is a development of. You're just
Yes,
like
you
saying
do.
I'm wrong, and you're not even like proving I'm wrong. You're just like, I don't like your theory, therefore it's wrong.
I provided you with multiple proofs that you are wrong. You can calculate the force of an object. That is something tangible that you can actually do. We do it every single day in almost every single facet of fucking life. So I don't want to hear how atoms don't fucking exist and mass is some kind of metaphysical fucking thing that I pulled out of my ass.
It is.
Like,
That's
these
what
are
Einstein
not
develops it into.
that we can actually use in
Mass is
reality.
energy. Mass is energy in Einstein. How is that controversial?
Mass is
Are you related
condensed
to Matt
energy.
Slick?
You
Are
keep
you related to
neglecting
Matt Slick?
certain words that you're throwing out here. If you're going to, I mean, I just can't understand half the shit you're saying. At least the other guy that we had on, he at least was talking actual physics. You, I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
If that
Okay,
makes
You're
you
doing the
feel
same
better
thing.
about
So
yourself,
that you're
that's-
accusing
go
GE
ahead.
of GE. You just said GE is saying things and then saying, I don't have to prove shit to you. You're doing the same thing when you say I don't have the burden of proof. I can just state how things are.
Okay. Just to clarify, though, a little bit there, Kyle, is that I have given multiple bits of evidence, whereas he has yet to make any kind of argument that's substantial in any kind of way that doesn't appeal to tradition or old-ass fucks from the 3rd goddamn century BCE. Like,
Yeah, he's a
I
Neoplatonist.
literally did none of those things today. Literally none.
Well, you said
That
you're
was,
Neoplatonist, so
just
yes,
total
you do.
emotional meltdown, GE. Like you couldn't address anything I'm
No,
saying.
I'm
so you
not
guys
having
kept
an emotion.
deflecting.
I'm laughing. I'm
I
laughing
love your
at
hatred.
you.
You're not going to trigger
I'm
anything
being
out of me.
emotional.
I'm sorry. It's not going to
How
happen.
can you not laugh at shit like this? Hold on, I got the whole joke list right here. Atoms don't exist. Felix Baumgartner proves the Earth is flat. That one was rich. There's no gravity, which is what I want to pivot to next. You say that there's no gravity, that gravity doesn't exist. I would love for you to explain how we stay on this earth or how this fucking pad of paper drops on my table. Can you please explain to me those basic things?
I already addressed this.
say down.
I already addressed
Please
it at
say
the very
down.
beginning. It's density and the continuum in which it exists. The structure of the continuum in which it exists.
Density is not weight. Density. God damn it. Could you just please explain to me how shit stays on the earth?
It's just the same thing. All weight is gravity, dude.
No,
no. I just told you what my position was, and all you could do is like laugh. Like it's not a refutation of anything I said. Refute what I said.
Well, I don't even know what you fucking said. What did you say? You said that density in the continuum that it exists. That does not tell me why shit falls down. Why does not? Okay, so why does this motherfucker right here not just fly up in the air? Like, why does it actually go down? Under normal fucking people. Well, no, and you haven't, because all you've said is it's density. You don't even go as far as to say it's density and buoyancy. Like, you say that it's just density. If you fucking throw this pad of paper out into the vacuum of space, it is not going to fall down towards the earth as long as it's far enough away from the fucking earth, okay? It's just going to stay right the fuck there. I mean, that is a dense object in an amount of, like, no fucking atmosphere, okay? It's not going to fall down. It's not going to fall fucking anywhere. So you need to tell me exactly what compels this pad of fucking paper right here to go plop on my goddamn desk. And it's not just density.
I mean, I've already said it like numerous times now. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't
Is
understand, again,
your
you've
answer,
already
is your
admitted you
answer
don't
only going
understand
to
the
be
things that I've
density?
said.
Because that's not an answer.
You telling
Dude,
somebody they
like,
don't
all you're doing
understand.
is appeal to
That's
this is all called appeal to
that's-
incredulity. He's just like, I don't understand
no,
your
no, it's
position. Therefore,
not incredulity. No, no bullshit. That's not appeal to incredulity, man. Incredulity is when you don't believe something. You're saying it's unbelievable. What we find unbelievable is you're talking about shit that you clearly have no fucking basic conception of in any way, shape, or form. Again, at least the other guy that came on, dude, you just said you don't know shit about physics. You're telling John that he's wrong on basic fucking 6th grade science. He is exactly right. When you take mass times mass divided by mass per second squared, right, for M equals ma, what are you going to end up with? You're going to end up with newtons, right? So it's a measurement of force. He's explaining to you how to calculate the amount of force given the amount of mass and the acceleration. How is that not registering with you? And you're saying that's wrong.
To like lay out some experiment I've done on it. I'm sorry, I haven't done that. I'm sorry.
You have to do experiment for that. Most of us did that in grade school.
We're not asking you for fucking experiments. We're just asking you to explain in your worldview what causes shit to fall down. That's a really simple fucking question.
I already answered it. You can't answer what I'm saying.
That's not an explanation because density doesn't denote weight.
In front of your audience, guys, like just start laughing and act like you've made an argument, and it's you haven't.
I gotta tell you, SI, I picked a bad time to quit smoking, and I did that 3 fucking years ago. Because I really want to smoke now. Bad time to quit smoking.
You haven't replied to anything I've said.
Clearly not.
I have replied. I mean, I've said that your explanation does not actually explain why shit falls down. And I find it incredibly hilarious that you cannot answer this one simple fucking question.
Don't understand it. You do realize that Einstein's position is that objects fall to the ground because of the structure of the continuum in which they're dwelling. You know that, right?
We understand gravity, dude. We understand Einstein put gravity.
You didn't reply. You're deflecting from what I just said.
I just
can give you
explained
citations
it.
from Wolfson. I can give you citations from Stephen Hawking. I can give you citations from
understand gravity.
Give a shit who you can cite. I can pull up a whole bunch of citations right now. That's not going to make me any more correct.
So if you're going to be talking about gravity, and we just talked about this last video, what is the positive stress tensor curvature of Einstein's field equation then? If you're going to be talking about gravitational metrics.
I do not believe in space-time curvature. I don't believe any of that.
No, I didn't ask what you believe. 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 If you're telling us we don't know about gravity, and we're just literally talking about positive and negative curvature.
I didn't say that, Steve.
You don't know what a stress tensor is in the matrix equations. Okay, so you don't know what F equals ma is. You don't know basic laws of motion, and you say you don't have the onus to demonstrate anything. What fuck are you smoking?
I've laid out. All you've done is made assertions, Steve. You haven't replied to anything I've said.
This is why I think you are going to win Dumb Fuck of the Year. I think you are going to win it. I'm supporting you now. I didn't have a dog in the phone before. I'm telling you, I did not have a dog in the phone.
Your way of life is dying, Steve, and you're desperate. You're desperate because you see the end coming around you. Your Dunning-Kruger is coming to an end, and you're scared. And you're doing everything you can to save face.
Projection is real.
Okay. All right, hold on. So Southern Israelite.
So the flat Earth movement isn't growing? Yes, it is.
No.
That's why you guys have to keep cutting me off and laughing and doing your Dunning-Kruger appeals to the stone because you can't answer anything.
Do you know what that word means? I don't think you understand that either.
And you're desperate.
How could we be Dunning-Kruger if we're explaining you to the stuff and you can't explain it? You obviously don't have any.
We're almost to the end here. Okay. Let GE make his final his last point here.
Well, no, okay. If this is the last thing that I was going to ask about the basic laws of motion.
Go ahead.
But
let's talk about them.
No, I'm actually more curious about how you explain the tides if it's not the gravity of the sun and the moon. Like, how do you? Can you please explain to me in your model?
From every argument I've made.
No. I'm not deflecting. You brought up. Hey, no, wait. Hold on. Chill your pants out. Listen, in your video before it got cut off, you brought up the tides. Okay, so this is directly related to the argument that you were making initially. Okay, so don't try to make this out to be like I'm deflecting from your arguments. This is part of your central argument. I would love to know your explanation for how tides work. How do the tides work on the Earth?
Okay. Can I talk now?
Yes.
That's the purpose of
Okay,
me
so
asking a
number
question
one,
and then waiting for you to answer.
GE just admitted he heard my arguments against tides and he can't answer them, so he's having to deflect onto me. So how do I explain tides? Tides are explained by the fact that there is a deep of water under the earth. The Bible says that there is a deep of water under the earth, and there's in some way the structure of the continents floats on top of the deep, and there is an ebb and flow.
Holy crap!
Laughing's not an argument.
The reason
bitch.
why the tides happen is there's a secret
it is an
ocean
argument.
under the crust of
There's
the
a
Earth.
secret ocean.
Well,
There's a
I think
secret-
Laughing's not an answer to anything I've said. You fucking cunt.
Do you have a paper on the
Hey,
secret
you guys
ocean?
ever want to come meet me in a parking lot and have this out violently? I would love to do that as well.
Hold on, hold on.
no, that's fine.
Before we do that, hold on. I got something important to say.
Now
I got something.
physical violence. God damn. Is
Before
that
we-
what Jesus would do?
So
before we divulge,
laughing
you made a claim. You
hysterically
made a
and,
claim,
like,
Southern
doing-
Israelite. You made a claim that you beat the hell out of Reds, and you keep spouting off about that.
It was
and
a massacre.
okay, cool. Well, we're gonna find out about that here in just a second. But I think it's clear that GE pretty much mopped the floor with you this evening. So, Reds,
which argument did he refute that I made?
All of
I
them,
don't know what
dipshit.
argument he
All of
made.
them.
I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
refuted
he
because
did.
you
Yeah,
didn't really have an
interesting thing I
argument.
said.
Although, hang on. To
Okay.
demonstrate this, to demonstrate this, I'm simply going to ask Southern Israelite. I'm going to challenge him to answer one question.
So now we got
directly.
Reds in here. It's 4
Oh,
on
damn
1.
straight we do.
Y'all are
Okay,
desperate.
here's the challenge.
Y'all can't
Here's
answer
the
a
challenge.
single thing
Here's
I
the
said
challenge.
about
Oh,
Reds.
don't
No.
worry. Shh. It's okay.
You
It's
called
okay.
him out.
It's
I'm
okay.
letting you answer
Okay,
for it.
here we go. Here we go. Okay, so you quoted Neil deGrasse Tyson in your video.
Yes.
So now I ask you to quote him again. What did Neil deGrasse Tyson say on the Nightly Show before he dropped the mic?
That this is gravity, and then he dropped the mic.
And what did he say before that?
He said this is gravity, and then he dropped the mic. What?
No. What did he say before this is gravity? Come on, you got it.
Dude, I don't memorize everything Neil deGrasse Tyson says.
Oh,
I don't know.
then let me inform you. The Earth isn't fucking flat.
Oh, great argument, man. I'm convinced now. You got me.
This is how. Basically,
What,
this
you're
is
cherry
what we
picking.
call quote mining. You just quote mined Neil deGrasse Tyson like a motherfucker. You're going to go to this guy's
How did I-
authority, but you're not going to go to this
I
guy's
never
authority when he
said
debunks your
Neil
bullshit.
deGrasse- this is
Just like you will
pathetic.
go,
I
just like
never
you will
said
go,
Neil
you will
deGrasse
go to
Tyson
Newton
believed the Earth
as an
was flat.
authority,
I never
but you
said-
completely ignore the consequences of Newton's canon. This is how I whipped your ass last time. You still haven't learned your lesson.
You laughed, but it
Already
happened
of
again
hatred.
tonight.
I love it.
You got completely owned tonight.
So,
I mean,
Reds,
badly.
Oh,
point
God.
out one argument I made last time that you refuted. Let's hear it.
All of them.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. You couldn't answer anything I
Yeah.
said, just like these cunts can't answer anything I said.
Oh yeah, just like you
That's
can't
what-
remember
that's
a
what-
quote from Neil deGrasse
Big
Tyson.
cut.
Those
cut.
citations from
Huh?
Brigham were just painful.
I think.
Yeah.
Big
So
cunts.
hey. By the way, so there's right that long pause when I asked you that question. Beautiful. I'm gonna snip that if that's okay with you.
Question. I didn't memorize what Neil deGrasse Tyson said, and I was like, oh, great.
Hey,
Yeah,
because
you know,
you
yeah,
refute anything I said.
wait, his viewership's just going to go way up. His following is just going
Yeah,
to
you know,
skyrocket.
hey,
Keep on.
mine are at 22 times what yours are. So fuck you, right?
Hey,
Yeah,
Red,
it
can I
Oh,
Can I
throw
God,
down?
you know, guys,
Gee,
I
has,
think
was
that
that-
his
was that a
subscriber
misuse of
count
fallacy,
might
Steve?
go up by 2.
Yeah.
Reds, can I
G's
throw
got
down?
like 8
Red,
times
you
all
go
of
ahead,
us
tell the
here
truth on it.
in this room.
Did I? One sec, Reds, tell the truth. Did I not tell you before? I have no dog in the dumb fuck of the year thing. I couldn't care less really this year. It was all too difficult. They all are, equally.
It was very
capable of
unfortunate,
winning.
Steve. But,
I didn't pick one though, did I? But did I give you a name?
This was
Now
very
I am.
unfortunate, Steve, but yes, you did. You told me you didn't have a dog in this fight, and to that, I thank you for finally having a dog in this fight. And also, Southern Israelite, you made a challenge. The intersection of A1A and Highway 401. That means that after I whip your ass in person, we can enjoy a rocket launch together. See you there, bitch.
Let's do it, man. Say it again.
Let's
Say
do
again.
it.
Let me Google it.
So,
we're ready.
Highway 401 and Highway A1A in Cape Canaveral, Florida,
Where the glory
just
hole
before
is.
the SpaceX launch.
I just want to say
maybe
you'll
this
be in
is
good company with the rest of the dumb fucks that have won Southern Israelite.
Yeah,
G-Man,
maybe that's
Ronnie,
his goal.
you're in great company.
Yeah.
Is that his goal to maybe win?
Hang on. Look for a red Trans Am. It'll be the one driving away with your girl.
That's great, man.
Yeah, that's great. Good
okay,
shit,
so
right?
can I make kind of a final statement here to sum up, and then maybe Southern Israelite can too?
Please.
Okay, so to kind of sum up things tonight, let me get my joke list back out again. Atoms don't exist. Tides are caused by a secret ocean underneath the earth. There are two different ideas of what reality is. Experiments have failed, and apparently that doesn't mean that the flat earth has failed to prove anything. There's no gravity. What I have to say to any and all of the arguments that Southern Israelite has had is that he hasn't actually substantiated anything, while I myself have given practical bits of evidence in order to say, hey, you can go out and you can view these things. The explanation that I gave for the tides, which he says I didn't actually respond to, I preemptively responded to his tides argument, and I explained the science behind it. So I get that there's a lot of flat earth fanboy girls in the chat right there that say that I didn't actually prove anything. But in this particular context, you're not going to get a scientific paper or anything like that. But what I can give you are practical bits of evidence that you can either look up for yourself or you can go out and visually see, like boats going over the horizon. Or the tides and how they function. And I can almost assure you that it is not because of a magical sea underneath the crust of the earth. God did not create the earth. The earth formed 4 billion years ago, I believe it is.
4.5.
So, I don't think that I really had to do anything tonight. All I had to do was ask questions. And I think that is what you have to do for almost any flat earther, is ask them questions. Like, explain, how things fall down. Explain the tides. Explain eclipses, which we didn't get to that one, but it would have been a fun conversation with the magical black body anal beads in the sky. So I didn't really have to do anything. I'm kind of disappointed I didn't have somebody that's a little bit more knowledgeable in it, but hey, you know what? It was a fun time. I laughed a lot. I know I got Steve to laugh, or I don't know if I got Steve to laugh.
I think I hurt myself. I have a hernia, and I think I actually may have done some damage, but that's okay. It was worth it.
I think anything you want to say, Southern Israelite?
Yeah. So the whole thing of the appealing to modernity, that it's 2018, we should do away with all these ancient beliefs. Modern physics hold to Anaximander's boundless, which was like 2,500 years ago. Atoms are prehistoric. Neoplatonism's like almost 2,000 years old. All of this is very ancient. So these are ridiculous arguments. As for boats over the horizon, I've pointed out that there's no tilt in any of the boats in any of Red's Rhetoric's demonstrations, and his whole idea that from what I remember, that you can only see 1 degree of tilt after the boat is 69 miles away from you. That would make the boat behind a curvature of over 2,500 feet. So it's a completely unfalsifiable excuse. And no, these guys couldn't answer any. Oh, dark bodies. Dark bodies is actually where your theory of black holes comes from. That's pretty mainstream science. The fact that you would dismiss that is just complete ignorance on your part. So I absolutely destroyed these guys. They couldn't answer anything that I've said. The mental meltdowns we saw here today is an indication of these men know that their way of life is dying. They know there is a huge movement that's arising in this country and in the West that is going to end their way of life. They are having total mental meltdowns, and it was a joy to watch them lose it here tonight. Thank you.
I just got a text message I just got a text message from Debbie Duran, and she said, "Holy fuck, this guy's stupid." Now, you know.
Brilliant insult, Kyle. I'm devastated. I'm going to cry myself to sleep after that one. Brilliant.
Oh my God, that was good.
You have your documents to keep you warm. Don't worry.
You've not been able to answer a single fucking question. All you do is throw shit out there. Half the shit I know you don't know anything about this shit. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, don't try to
That makes
bullshit
you
us.
feel
You don't know
better.
shit about
Go
this.
ahead, tell yourself.
Well, it's true. I mean, have you taken a
He-
physics course in your
we all
life?
know this now. He's a poet.
Steve, he knows as much about this topic as he does about my actual response to Zeno's paradox, the fucking lying piece of shit.
Oh, by the way, who brought that up? Who brought up Zeno? Was that him? SI?
I believe so.
Did you bring that up? With
I
that last
always
guy?
bring up Zeno. It's an irrefutable argument.
Okay, let me tell you how it's
They know it.
resolved. Oh, was it you that said it wasn't resolvable? Because you're full of shit. Let me tell you how it's resolved.
He's the one that said it wasn't resolvable.
You
And
take-
then
you take-
also
Hang on,
said
let me finish. You take a summation. 1/2 plus 1/4 plus 1/8 plus 1/16 plus ... You take the summation of that, it ends up being 1. So if you learn how to do an infinite summation of elements, you get
same shit.
the resolvement of the Zeno's paradox. It's not that fucking complicated. Have you studied what a limit of a sequence is? Have you studied what an infinite summation is?
Yes.
Also,
Yes,
this
all
guy,
the
this guy,
answers.
likes to quote, theoretical physicists and shit like that, and everyone who's a lot smarter than he is, but he doesn't want to I don't know, maybe somebody named Planck for some reason, like because there exists this thing called a Planck length, so there actually is a limit to how small that you can define something. And what the fuck were you saying this entire time? You'll go ahead and quote everyone else until it disagrees with your bullshit. That is called quote mining. Thank you for playing. You have lost again. By the way, you're winning. Don't fucking hear.
SI though, I want you to answer that
It is
question
my
before we
honor
go any
to
further.
be hated by the
Do you
enemies.
know what a limit of a sequence is or an infinite summation? Simple yes or no.
Off the top of my head, I don't recall those concepts. I
Then
do
why don't
recall
you go
that
look
they
at
are.
those? Okay, then why don't you
That
go look at
doesn't
those?
answer the
and
argument
see-
that
then
Zeno
why
makes.
don't
It
you go
doesn't
look at
answer what I
those?
said
It
about
does
Zeno earlier.
resolve it. It does resolve it. Go study them.
No, you have an
Go
infinite number of points and a
enroll in a
finite.
basic math course. It resolves Zeno's paradox. I assure you.
All right, we've got a shit ton of super chats to get to real quick before we close out because there's another show after this at 11:30. Actually, there's going to be 2 shows going on. There's going to be Reds is having an after show on his channel, and then
I'm calling
Jimmy
you
and
out,
I will
might
be.
of God.
And then Jimmy and I will be doing our usual thing on Saturdays on here and his channel. So you can split between the 2, I guess. Let me get to the start of this.
Okay.
Vandy.
Can I plug? Can I shamelessly plug? Just real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick, 5 seconds. I did a blink test. The mind of God hates it. We're gonna talk about it. Tune in. All right, I'm done.
Awesome.
All right, Padme the Cat says, none of my dark joke super chats have been read. Good call. Mark Beiser, pre-recorded intro videos should not be allowed. Who's your atheist skeptic? Hashtag skeptic mafia. Orlor says, I know I keep asking this, but does the flat earth explain the southern celestial pole? No.
No.
That's a simple answer to that, right? David Cowdrey says, planes are not going to fly north-south just to prove a point. There are a lot of things that go into selecting flight paths. Fun TikTok says, that vid is like compilation of the stupidest shit ever said about anything. He had documents to back it up, so don't hate. Jane Doe says, sorry, GE, but I didn't come here to watch a video. I'm out of here, GE. You have the patience of a saint to deal with this guy. James Harvey says, please make a rule going forward. No more videos. You must present your arguments live. Videos aren't exactly a debate, please. So it's not just us, Southern Israelite. We're not the.
Totally agree with that.
It's not us against you. Vandy 04.
All of your friends don't like me. What a surprise.
Well, no. I mean, I have to say that I would have honestly liked to have had you actually just say your arguments instead of providing a video, not just because of the burden that it put on the streaming of the show tonight and how that clogged it up, but just because if you want, it seems antithetical to me for you to want such a structured debate, but then give your initial arguments in a freaking video. Like those two don't mix. Like when you do an actual debate, you don't have a video that plays at first that people can watch so that you don't have to do shit at first.
But
okay? I mean, don't ask for a formal debate if you're just going to play fucking videos.
I cry myself to sleep on that one,
topic.
man. Crushing argument.
And SI, you would pick one specific topic of discourse, not 5,000 different things. It's called argument from verbosity. Same thing that the other person had. Argument from verbosity. You throw
No
things,
documents.
so many things out there, knowing that your opponent's not going to be able to address onto them, and probably doesn't have the expertise to address on most of them.
Dude,
Not
I address
talking about
line
John
by
specifically, but the fact that a lot of these
It
things
was
would
argument
require a
at
lot
potato.
more in-depth discussion
Argument
that have
at
nothing to do with shit. It's all Neoplatonist bullshit, and that's what I'm going to call it bullshit because I think Neoplatonism is fucking crap. But that's all you're asserting.
Anthony Burton says it was a great sight to watch you stare at documents on the screen and deny there were documents. Thanks for the entertainment. It's exactly what happened. There were documents on the screen, and we completely denied them. You're sharp.
He didn't know the name.
Thank you. You denied them. You couldn't refute them. You
He
denied
put in
them.
his
Thank you
video,
for
he
that.
didn't know the name of them.
Right. We denied them.
How do you not know what documents you
Argument
use?
add,
Is your video?
argument add document. Argument add document. Fun TikTok
This is
again
great.
says why he keeps referring to a guy from 1919 as modern. Mark Beiser says,
The
"Is
modern
there something?"
physics starts in 1905. You stupid fuck.
Do you know what
Hey,
happened
now
in
is that what
1905?
Jesus wants
Wait,
you to do?
wait,
Is to call
do you
people-
know
No,
what
I am
happened?
not a
That
Christian.
coming from a guy that thinks that there's a secret ocean underground.
You enemies of my
What-
people,
what-
I
what-
have
says
nothing but
something.
hatred for you people.
Is there
Hang
something
on, guys.
below? Not even wrong, because that is what Southern Israelites' arguments are.
Yes,
Goes to Enigma says,
wrong.
Okay, listen,
no,
listen.
matter and energy are not the same mass. And we're getting through these. Andrew Botella says he cites general relativity as proof of his model of things falling. He doesn't agree with general relativity. Huh?
I never said that
Yes.
ever. I don't know what the hell that's about.
So SI, what happened in
Mercedes-Benz
1905?
Southern dipshit just won and earned his dumb fuck of the year.
I voted
Congratulations,
for him.
Southern
I'm voting.
Israelite. AC Castillo
You're voting for
says
him.
nothing.
Fuck
Goes to the
yeah,
Enigma says, okay, sorry. One last one before I go to bed. I goofed up with the last super chat. I'm getting a headache from this shit. You're not the only one. 0132132. Can Southern Israelite say ATP synthase for me? Just because. What are your thoughts on ATP synthase?
Oh,
Southern Israelite.
I have no knowledge of that concept. Sorry.
Well, at least we don't
Say
have
his
another
name.
Rocket Ronnie. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just say it's an
Poor
enzyme,
little
like I did.
Southern Annabelle P says, poor little Southern Israelite. It's clear he's got no friends or family to help with his mental illness. Insidious Vid says, Southern quote miner locked up dumb fuck of the year, created a dumpster fire, made Kyle smoke, and challenged Steve to a fight, which Red accepted. Love this show. That is going to be the title of this episode, actually. Thank you for that, kids. NZ Pure says, you guys are cunts, good cunts. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cajun Crustacean says, Southern Israelite accusing others of Dunning-Kruger is comedy gold. I would agree
yeah, it
with that.
is. It really is.
And then
Rejection.
Great
then
argument.
Condor Man says,
I'm
Southern
refuted.
Israelites' claims are falsifiable. Denial doesn't change that. That's a good way. That's a good way to wrap everything up. Denial, I think, is
Well, I'm
the,
still waiting.
the moral
I
of the
want
story.
to ask my question real quick. What happened in 1905?
He doesn't have an answer.
That's when
Well, give him a
when
second.
Einstein started publishing his stuff on relativity, right?
Which
Yeah, has shit
version?
been updated since 1905?
Yeah, which version did he publish in 1905?
What is
There you
this
go.
field of intimidation? What are you doing now,
Jesus
Steve? What are you
Christ.
asking?
Dude, if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, the special theory of relativity was published in 1905 as the first one. 1915 when he published general theory of relativity. And you're sitting there trying to. How the fuck do you know about this shit?
refuted
Dude,
me.
in 1905, all the modern science came around. You don't even know fucking why.
Hold on.
Fuck off.
You
He's
can
not
catch
gonna-
us.
Steve,
You
Jesus, are you
Steve,
stupid?
how dare you ask him questions?
You can
That's
catch
just
us.
He did ask me a question, and I answered it.
All of
And he tried
modern
to, like-
physics came around 1905. Why? Oh fuck if I know. Okay.
We'll be back
I
here
just answered the
in
question,
10
you know,
minutes.
it's-
We'll be back here in 10 minutes for the end of Ad+Homies, and then or you can go to Reds and continue on this. I've had enough flat Earth for one evening, so I wish you well.
I need a drink.
Thank you, Southern Israelite. I'm not sure what that
Fun,
was,
man.
but it will forever stay with me right here, and I will keep all of our documents about it right here close to my heart. So good night, everyone.
Yet
and,
again, no one could refute it.
Good night, everyone. It's been fun.
Good night.
It's been
And
fun.
I'm gonna
guys.
go.
Good night.
Non sequitur. Your facts are uncoordinated.